Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the iPhone 16 Pro and compare it against the iPhone 16 Plus and see how both these iPhones kind of compare in 2025. Now, the thing I will definitely tell you is that these phones pretty much just came out, so they're not really like the latest and greatest anymore. Well, they are the latest and greatest, but we're about to get their successors very soon. So kind of keep that in mind as you're kind of looking at these types of devices, because there might be a chance where you might want to end up waiting until we get the next generation of software. Or the next generation of hardware for that matter. So we'll go and kind of give it a second, but I will tell you, if you want to go ahead and pick up either one of these devices, go ahead and link it in the description below. I will find the cheapest ones I can find on Amazon, leave a link down below. You can get that from there and help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both of these particular devices. The first thing to remember is that with both these devices, the iPhone 16 Plus is going to be the phone that is probably going to be the better device between these two. There's pretty much like one or two advantages for the iPhone 16 Plus. Otherwise, it probably makes a lot more sense to go through and buy something like an iPhone, 16 Plus for that matter, or a 16 Pro, rather than an iPhone 16 Plus. So, number one, the very big thing to keep in mind here is that, in my personal opinion, with a device like an iPhone 16 Plus, you're still kind of able to go through and get like a pretty good type of display and a good type of device. This thing's giving you a 6.7-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display, and I would say for the most part, going through and buying a device like this, you're able to still get like a pretty good type of experience. And even though it's not necessarily like the most perfect phone of all time, it still is giving you a pretty big type of display. The dynamic island is really nice. And I would say for a lot of people, getting a phone panel like this, you're probably still able to get a pretty good type of experience. Albeit it's not perfect, it still is going to be giving you a good type of display, but it's only 60 Hz. That is kind of my biggest disadvantage with this phone. I would have way rather loved to have get a device that's giving me 120 Hz, but 60 Hz really just isn't that great. With the iPhone 16 Pro, on the other hand, this device is giving you a 6.3-inch LTPO Super Retina XDR OLED display. So this one is going to be slightly different. This one is going to be a significantly better panel, even though it's smaller. So some people like smaller displays, some people like bigger displays. It's really just kind of up to you, whichever way you kind of want to set it up. But the thing I'll probably tell you, in my personal opinion, again, is that it doesn't matter which way you kind of swing it up. The iPhone 16 Pro's display is way better. It's going to be giving you a really good type of display, really good type of capability. And I will tell you from what I can tell, this type of display with this type of, display size, the ProMotion display is beautiful. It's giving you a really good type of experience. And I will tell you, as far as I can tell, you're going to be getting a really good type of display and quality from this type of device when it comes down to it. So from that side too, I feel like that is kind of another one of those really big things to keep in mind there. But again, it really just kind of depends on which way you're kind of going through. Now, another thing to keep in mind here too is that within these types of devices, you're getting USB Type-C ports on the bottom, really good build quality on both, frosted glass backs on both. You're also still able to maintain MagSafe and all those things too, which is really nice. I will tell you though, as far as I can tell, if you are kind of going through and looking for a device that might be giving you a little bit of a better capability, as always, it probably is going to be something like an iPhone 16 Pro, because that one is going to be giving you a better type of experience, a better type of display, and that one just makes a lot more sense to kind of buy rather than this one. So that kind of covers it up from that particular perspective. When it comes down to the camera side, this is also going to be another thing to keep in mind here as well. So you have to remember with the iPhone 16 Plus, this phone is giving you a dual camera setup. So a 48 megapixel wide angle camera and then a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. Whereas on the iPhone 16 Pro, this one's going to be giving you a 48 megapixel wide angle camera, a 12 megapixel periscope telephoto camera, and then a 48 megapixel ultra wide camera. So this right there is going to be another really important thing to keep in mind there as well. You have to remember that if you're going to go through and pick up a device, it's really important to be able to go through and pick up a phone that is going to be giving you a better experience, right? That's always kind of the best thing to keep in mind there. And between both, the camera on the iPhone 16 Plus is still good. It's still going to be giving you a good type of experience. But the 16 Pro is kind of going to be the one that is probably going to end up being the better type of device from at least what I can tell. Again, it makes a lot more sense to go through and buy a device like an iPhone 16 Pro, but I feel like the 16 Plus still is going to kind of be the one that would make a lot more sense because, the 16 Plus is a good camera. The 16 Pro is the one that would make more sense. But the funny thing is, I feel like there's still a lot more similarity here. yes, there's more zooming in and way more sensors just in general on the iPhone 16 Pro, but I feel like the 16 Plus camera has still been giving me a really good type of capability, really good type of performance, and I genuinely just don't have that much to complain about there from that particular device when it comes down to it either. So from that side, that kind of covers it up as well. Now, on top of that, I think another important thing to keep in mind here too is that when you are kind of looking through both these types of phones, both of them are going to be giving you very long software support. So both these phones are going to be supported with software for quite a bit of time, and I do think that right there is another really important thing to keep in mind there too. Because both these devices are going to be supported with software for as long as they are going to be, it's really important to note that no matter what happens, being able to go through and buy a device that still has some sort of software support ahead of it is really important to keep in mind there. So, like I said, I feel like that right there is super important, and getting a device like this is another one of those really important things to keep in mind. So, at least from that side, I'm really happy about it. When it comes down to their battery lives, this is going to be probably the one area of these phones that's going to be giving you the better type of experience on the 16 Plus. That phone is going to be giving you a 4674 milliamp battery inside, so that's going to be pretty big. The iPhone 16 Pro is giving you a 3582 milliamp battery, so that right there is also going to be another important thing to keep in mind there as well. Because both these phones are going to be slightly different, the iPhone 16 Pro is probably going to end up being the one that is not going to be as good of a battery life device compared to something like the iPhone 16 Pro. So that right there is going to be another important thing. The 16 Plus is definitely going to be the better one here as far as I can tell. And finally, when it comes down to the performance, the iPhone 16 Plus is giving you the Apple A18 chipset inside with 8GB of RAM, where the iPhone 16 Pro is giving you the Apple A18 Pro chipset inside with 8GB of RAM. So this right there is going to be another important thing to keep in mind there too, because if you are wanting the device that is going to be giving you better type of capability from that perspective, you have to remember that the iPhone 16 Pro is going to be the one that is going to be probably the faster one when it comes down to it. So that right there is going to be another really important thing to keep in mind there. Because if you are wanting the device that is going to be giving you better type of capability, again, it's going to have to come down to something like an iPhone 16 Pro. So in my personal opinion, what I can definitely tell you is that without a doubt, getting a device like an iPhone 16 Pro is definitely probably the one that would make a lot more sense to go and buy rather than an iPhone 16 Plus. I can't really think of a lot of scenarios where I would look at the iPhone 16 Plus as being the better one in almost every single angle. I think the Plus is better in some ways, like I think it's better when it comes down to its capability, like when it comes down to its battery life and price tag maybe. But I think in almost every single other way, the iPhone 16 Pro is kind of the one that is the better one in almost every single way. And that is without a doubt the one that I would recommend a majority of people to go and pick up from that particular perspective. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that will mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.